Welcome to the Something Good podcast, hosted by Renee Mueller, powered by Verly. This is where we interview top business professionals, industry insiders, operational managers, and thought leaders from around the nation, diving into hot current topics to help you experience something good.
Well, today we have Katy McNeil with CVB, Columbus Visitors Bureau, joining us on our podcast. And we want to hear about what she's been up to these days and kind of where you see Columbus going, where you see the Visitors Bureau, and how we can all get in touch with you. So
I guess first I can kind of talk about what a CVB is. So we're a Columbus Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. So
that was a lot for me to say. So.
It is. It's a mouthful. So the goal of my office is to bring visitors in, to bring conventions in, to help promote events, to really engage the community in what's happening in and around Columbus area. So I represent the entire county. So when I say Columbus area, I mean we help to promote events in Colfax County and Butler County too. It's just kind of whatever happens kind of near Columbus to bring people to our region, show them why we love it here so much.
Okay, so do those other areas have their own Visitors Bureau? Like Colfax County, Schuyler, any of those?
Schuyler has their Columbus area chamber, their chamber, not their Columbus area chamber. But so they have an office that kind of promotes like I do, but I'm not sure. We're funded by lodging tax, so as long as that county has some hotels or campgrounds or places that generate revenue within their bounds,
okay.
Then they have some of that funding.
Okay.
It just kind of depends on how much. So there's not a whole lot of hotels in Butler County.
Yeah. I wonder why. Nobody wants to stay there.
Well, I mean, it's a growing community, too.
Yeah. Well, all of them. You look at Columbus area, like you said, it's just incredible, those small communities. Humphrey, I assume you were talking Lindsay, all those small areas.
Preston, yeah. Duncan.
Right.
So, like in Duncan, we promote the Rib Fest every year. We did a lot with their 150 this year. In Lindsay, we help promote Pivot Days. Platt Center has a huge 4th of July.
Right.
That's kind of underutilized.
Right.
There's just a lot happening here. And so my job is to educate, to tell people there are things to do here. It's a wonderful community to live in, to grow your family in, to really put down roots.
Yeah, agreed. So this is why the CVB, or you at the Columbus Area Visitors Bureau, is that right?
Close enough. Good.
So that's why you are funded through the lodging tax. This is why you're obviously encouraging those big events, like you were saying. So
yes.
Yeah.
So since we get those lodging tax dollars, it's in our best interest to help fund and promote events that bring in overnight stays. But there's a lot of ancillary benefits to events too. I mean, little Johnny might forget his shin guards and have to go to Tweets.
Yep.
Or somebody might need a suit jacket and run to Cato. Or
food industries, I assume.
Yeah,
probably
food, gas,
okay.
All of those things. They're really just, I don't see any of those dollars, but our community does.
Which is great, yeah. So how about the sporting events and things like that? Is that part of it as well?
Yep. So I work with Betsy at the city. She does all the parks and rec. Yeah. So her job is to make sure our parks are utilized and our public facilities are utilized. So that's a big part of what we do. We provide bid funding, so I can provide incentives to groups to bring their meetings to town, to bring their conventions, their tournaments, and things like that to town too.
How does that work, and what kind of incentives?
Just kind of depends on how many people they have coming for their event.
So the bigger, the more incentives?
Yeah, and so if they're willing to commit to more than 1 year in our community too, then obviously we see a multi-year benefit, so we give them a multi-year incentive. It could be anything from $250 plus $1 for every hotel room that they use. It could be $750 flat, and then if they come back the next year, we give them $1,000. It just kind of depends on the size of their event.
Okay, and does that go to the organizer, to that organization?
As long as the event happens in some form or fashion, like obviously with COVID, some of our multi-day events, they went down to one-day events, or they changed a little bit. But as long as they happen, the organization that puts the event on, I submit a claim for the county, and then we pay it out after the event.
Okay, and so tell our listeners, I guess, the viewers, how they would maybe get a hold of you at the CVB for this type of a question they have on maybe an event or bringing something here, getting the funding.
Okay. Yeah. So my phone number is outside the chamber on the sign. So it's 402-276-3606.
Okay.
Or they can email me, kmcneil@plattcounty.ne.gov. It just got longer recently. But otherwise, they can submit their events through our app, which is what, this is a Something Good podcast. We have a Something Good app in Platte County.
Yep.
So that's the other way that you can get the word out, and it's free. You can post deals, you can post events, places,
all
restaurants.
to that app. You can post any of that. Events.
Yep.
Good things coming up. So
Yeah.
how about discounts on services, food?
There's
anything
deals,
like
there's coupons in there. So if you look in there now, I think Cork and Barrel and Friedhof and Columbus Tire, and gosh, I feel like I'm forgetting Sweet Harvest will have one in there soon. Oh. And it is 100% free. So if you are Treasures Boutique and you're having a fall sale, you can post a flyer under deals for your fly sale or for your fall sale.
So anyone can go in there and post, obviously. So we'll share that in this podcast as well, so that people can just see that link and go to that app. So
it is. I mean, it's so easy. It's easier than submitting a Facebook event.
Yeah.
So if you're already taking the time to put your event online, I mean, it shoots out to the Visitors Bureau website, which is visitcolumbusne.com, and it also goes out to the Chamber's website.
Okay.
So if you're a business and you're interested in having that calendar integrated into your website, that's free too.
Oh, that's perfect. Good to know, Katie.
It is literally our job, or my job, with the use of my advisory committee to promote events, to promote our community, to help you find something good to do, eat, play.
I like it. Yeah. And so besides that, at the CVB, what else is there? I mean, I assume you probably have to take a look at the budgets as well, and part of your funding, I don't know if you've announced that or not, but where does part of your funding come from, or all of it?
So all of my funding, well, I shouldn't say all of it, 99.9% of my funding comes from lodging tax. Sometimes we get sponsorships for events, like next week we're hosting state golf. So that's an expensive event to put on. So I send out sponsorship letters, and I think this year we're fortunate to bring in like $2,500 in sponsorships to help pay for mileage and sweatshirts for our volunteers and things like that.
Okay, so that's coming up. You said, what are some of the other events, if you can share, that you have yet in 2021?
Oh boy. So the thing that happened with the pandemic is events, like even bigger events, they kind of seem to just pop up. So we have some projects, like people will request sponsorship dollars. We're sponsoring the Connecting Young Nebraskans Conference, which is in Ord, and that's in a couple of weeks here in October.
And that's really a growing community too, isn't it? I'm so surprised.
Ord is growing quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So as a sponsor, we're able to give them information about our community. So we'll put information about the app in, like a little hand fan and stuff. But it's really our goal to bid to host that conference in the future and kind of show off Columbus and all the products that we have here and all the boutiques that we have here.
So all of that helps. The business building, everything that's added to Columbus helps you win those bids.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So when you have a convention come in, if it's during the summer, we see a lot of families because the plunge is open, or they can go camping, or if it's a sporting weekend, maybe they come in for a one-day tournament, but they find something great here and they want to come back.
Something great. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. So we fund, we have improvement grants too. So improvement grants, those are more brick and mortar grants.
Mm-hmm. I've seen something posted about this. I think I shared it, and it's for nonprofits, though, correct?
It is.
Okay.
Yep. So it is open in September. So it happens one time a year. So we have 6 applications this year. So we'll have to really delve into those and see what we're awarding and how much we're awarding for those. But those are meant to promote, grow, and create visitor attractions. So, for example, if somebody wanted to... for example, the Fire Truck Museum that's downtown, that's become a big focal point because it's bright fire engine red.
I love
that
it.
was an improvement grant.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good to know. Okay.
So they're an improvement grant this year too. The Columbus Area Antique Fire Truck Apparatus Museum.
Is that what it's called?
That is the website if you were to Google it.
Oh, wow.
It's super long, but they're planning to finish off the inside of that.
Okay.
So there's things like that. Yeah, I think the Downtown Business Association, they wanted to apply for new banners, but they're a 501c6.
Oh.
So they didn't qualify. But there's some ways around that to help them find the funding. So that's kind of what I do is I help connect the dots, help give some teeth to some of the projects around the community.
Okay. And so how much are those grants?
Those are dependent on how much lodging tax is collected the year before.
Okay.
So it's 1/2 of the lodging tax collected the year before.
Okay.
So this year they were up to $63,000 and change that could be requested by any one group.
Okay.
Now, if they request that $63,000, they may not get awarded that full amount. For example, last year we awarded the Columbus and Lakeview Baseball Association a matching grant up to $50,000 for new field lighting out at Pawnee Park.
Okay.
So that one was an example. So we would match the city. If the city put in $50,000, so would we.
Wow.
So that really helps out that
Yeah.
that organization.
That's incredible. So you have 6, you said, applications so far. Okay. And so,
that process is closed for this year.
Okay.
So they close September 30th at noon. So we'll make a determination before the new year, and then those projects have 18 months to be completed.
Okay. A good deal.
So yeah,
Yeah. Well, you have a lot going on.
there are so many irons in the fire because so much of my job depends on relationships.
Yeah.
And people putting in their information and sharing their information. So I rely heavily on our community to inform me about events and things or goals or projects that they want to do. I know the Morning Rotary Group is working on a historical building walking tour for downtown that can eventually be expanded to the whole county. There's a group that wants to put together like a small business passport so we can do a check-in system in the app.
That would be good. Yeah.
So that would be for the whole county.
Right.
So that would be kind of neat to get up and running. So we're working on that. So
Awesome.
there's
Well, we'd like to host a beer and bagel run, so maybe we'll stick that on
yes.
there and, make it
Not
work.
only would I like
Check
to
in.
run in that. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I think it'll be a blast. So
I think the beer should happen after.
well, it has to.
Ba-
That's your incentive. You finish,
Yeah.
and then you get a beer and a bagel.
Let's say have the bagel first for some fuel and then have the beer.
That's right, exactly.
To refresh.
Yeah, yeah. I know I've told you before, when I've gone to communities like Kearney, I'll get on their running trail and you can check in, and
Yep.
I mean, it's just, and then all these things start really to flood at you, like these events and this is happening. And so that sort of, what's the word I want to use? That sort of,
Entices you.
but yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, it's sort of, I'm looking for more like all those groups that come together and like you said, you want to attract people to that app to make sure that they're putting those events in there. And so it really, it does entice them. It's a way to, have everybody come together and just make that happen. And that is what you need. So it is a relationship business that you're in, just like a lot of others where you need that cooperation from those people and to have them see how that affects their business. What's the ROI on my time to go put these events into this app, and, what is then Katy or the CBB doing in return, how are they helping the community? And so this type of awareness, I think, makes such a big difference. So people probably don't know exactly what the CBB does.
Well, and our entire goal is to promote what's here. I my least favorite phrase in the entire English language is "there's nothing to do here." That is,
Or it's
you
always
too.
been that way. Oh my gosh, those two things I
We're
absolutely
going to do
hate.
it because this is the way it's always been done.
Yes.
Those are the worst two phrases ever.
Yep.
So,
Agreed.
our goal is to just kind of share with people what's here.
Right.
Let's do something good. Find something good, eat something good,
Yeah.
shop somewhere good.
I agree. And the other thing I think is incredible, Katy, is I know you're not from here. So the fact that you come here and you care enough about the community, what makes that happen for you? I mean, why is that something that you want to do?
If I'm going to live somewhere, I'm going to be an active part of that community
There you go.
because then I have no reason to complain if I'm not part of the solution.
Agreed.
If I see something that maybe we need, then I'm going to work to pursue it because there's somebody else that agrees with me. And so I just think we have so much potential. We have so many wonderful resources, so many amazing businesses. I mean, we're number 1 per capita in Nebraska for manufacturing and industry. Let's work that. Let's create a tour
And
around
almost
that.
number 1 for growth, in Nebraska, which
We
is
have
incredible.
been growing so much.
Yeah.
I mean, in the next 5 years, we'll have the new children's museum and library and all of that stuff downtown, that skating rink
Yes.
outside of Columbus Public, the new horse track and casino will be coming in. I mean, we just have
and so much more that hasn't even announced yet, and that's my passion too. I love that growth piece of it. So we watch ground around here, especially in Northwest Columbus, just disappear.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have.
It's
so.
something good about our community.
It's something great, Katie.
I know that's so cheesy, but
I love it.
It's true.
Yeah, no, it is very true. So, well, we appreciate your time today. And again, for those of you listening, watching, I would say go check out the Something Good app.
Yep.
So, obviously, on any
on
device,
Android, on iPad, or on iOS. So it's on any of those.
Good.
Visit columbusne.com.
Okay.
Or you can call me, or text me. My phone is a county phone, so it's 402-276-3606.
Everybody text her right now.
Yeah. First one to text me gets $10 in Columbus
where's my
bucks.
phone?
Nope, sorry.
All right, well, awesome. Well, thanks again. We appreciate your time, Katie. So looking forward to much more.
Thank you so much.